Welcome to the Education Station podcast, where we talk all things making advisory business simple. I am joined by OCIO extraordinaire Jeff Goodnow, the man with a Smith mind, Chase Smith, and I am Shelley Brockman. We, of course, are your advisor education team. So in our last episode, we talked about some internal efficiencies. And so we kind of wanted to take the external approach with this episode and talk about events, client events, conference events, team events. And so that's where we're going to get started. But before we do, just a little sneak peek. We're going to have an official announcement coming out in a couple of weeks. I'm so proud of our team for being able to have our portfolios and our strategies distributed on the nation's largest TAMP. So stay tuned for that. It's about to blow up big, and we are super excited. So let's get started on talking about events. So Chase, this is going to be the first time that many of us meet face-to-face on this team retreat coming up. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I got the easy topic today. So I'm sure you guys saw on Twitter, or if you check out our values page, we actually go on one company retreat in a year, and it's coming up. So I think there's 3 or 4 people on our team that have not met anyone. Some other team members have met here and there. Go on,
This
Jeff.
is where I
You got
have to
something?
I have to interject, because you got this topic because you're one of the people who's never met any.
I know. Up in Michigan.
So
Yeah.
hopefully you're a little excited. And I love the fact that you said, every year we do this. Okay, we've been trying, but
Yeah.
we still haven't. So yeah, I think I can. Anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm extremely pumped for it. I have not been west of Iowa. I'm in Michigan right now, so there's a lot out there, I've heard. So we're going to Denver to
Go west, young man,
let you
go
guys
west.
know exactly, to let you guys know exactly where we're going. So it's going to be a great time, but of course, we're not going to let a good opportunity go by the wayside. And the strangest thing of this whole thing, we're going to have a video crew following us around for a couple of days. And that just shows you the importance that we put on content, that, we're going to do a lot of events, whether it's our chopped events or we have a couple teams throughout Potomac, and we're going to compete in a cooking contest. I got Christopher Norton and Tori, so I'm feeling pretty good about it. And Jeff he's just got to make sure the microwave works, and he'll be fine there.
Amen, brother.
I'll make the drinks. I'm making the drinks and bringing the ingredients, and that's my role. And I'm not committing to anything more than that.
Yeah, I heard you're going to take off high heels for the first time and put some running shoes on to go grab the ingredients. So
if she's going to have drinks in our team, she better be running fast.
Yeah, those floors can get pretty slippery. So that's just importance. We put on, content. We're going to be having a lot of fun, but also we're here to work. We're going to have a working breakfast, or Friday morning, we're going to be available for some calls and anything that needs to be addressed. But we're going to enjoy our time, just because, if we look forward to our conference down the road, it won't be the first time I'm seeing Jeff or Shelley, and instead of focusing on our advisors and be like, oh, Jeff, this is the first time I ever saw you. Like, you look different in person. You want to get those first impressions out of the way.
I'm fatter.
That's okay. I'm shorter.
I'm working on that.
Yeah, just got to set play like. Yeah, well, those high heels come into play. There you go, Shelley. But I was gonna say, for my hindrance, like, I was thinking just shaving my head off, be like, no red hair, no hair right here, folks. But I'm not gonna go that extreme.
You trying to pull a Manish?
Yeah, I can't pull it off as well as Manish or Dan. I'll definitely let you guys know that. But yeah, I think, that's kind of what we're with the gear in mind, is hosting a team event. Just have fun, get some productivity out of it. But since we're all talking about events, what do you got for us, Jeff, as far as hosting a client event or perhaps some conferences? What's some go-to or good tips?
Yeah, so this is where, the staff event is the first time we've been able to get everybody together. And as a remote company, that's something that I think what should stand out to advisors is the fact that while we talk a lot about being remote and not actually being in person with everybody, we haven't forgotten the fact that there's a lot of value in that psychological concept of being face to face, to give somebody a hug or a handshake or a fist bump or whatever, and have a real conversation, right there in front of each other. So yeah, there's, I just came off, we'll talk just a second about an experience. We just came back from a broker dealer conference, a top producer conference. And yes, it was pretty glorious in the location, a little time out in Hawaii, never hurt anybody, but it was neat in the process. And I don't know Martina, if you've got that image, one of the things that happened is we didn't have any paper. And this is, again, we keep trying to be different, and not different just to be different, but different in willing to think outside the box and how do we do these things. So if you've got that image, you can throw that up there and you'll see what the table looked like from a booth perspective.
Like
I went there. Yeah, that kind of shit. Make it rain, baby. Make it rain.
I like it.
that. So
get that out of there.
here's the thing that I always laugh at conferences, right? And this is why we wanted to do different. I had a QR code Christopher made for me, so I had that on a little plaque. So when we did roundtables, when we were at the booth, if anybody wanted to know my contact information, all they needed was their phone. Boom, right there. It's at their discretion. They can choose to grab that information, and they'll have it. But the second thing was, again, all those neat paper flyers. Look, there's some glorious things, some really cool. A lot of energy has gone into by companies, right, to make these cool things that we all know advisors take them, glance at them, and they don't want to stick them in their suitcase because they bought too much shit. They can't take it with them, and they throw it away. And then when they get home, if they want it, they call you up and order it. Why? Right? So ESG is a thing. Socially responsible is a thing. I say we just don't bother wasting time with the paper. And honestly, I got great response from the crew that was there in the process of not bothering them with that stuff. I had an iPad open. So if we wanted to have a detailed conversation about something specific, we could look at that. But it was just nice and refreshing to have a table with our branding. And I did have, hold on. Of course I brought Bull Bear cereal.
It is profit on Education Station this go around.
I did have a box of Bull Bear cereal just because, again, some of the topic was branding and those sorts of things and understanding who we are and how we do what we do. But that's just a little snippet into the experience of us doing a conference. And that's the first one in 3 years. So as we move forward, though, not only are there conferences that we go to and our own conference, which Chase alluded to after our staff event, then in September, we'll have our own conference, but in-person events, right? I mean, this is the thing for us. It's our travel is not about turning over rocks. We're not traveling to take everybody and their mother out to coffee and a lunch so that we can see if they want to have a fact sheet put in front of them. We travel for client events and conferences. And so, client events is something that event engagement. I know, Shelly, you just got back from an event up in the Northeast. What was that like? Maybe you got some insight into that next step. All right. What can we learn from the client events?
Well, first of all, Jeff, isn't it so great to be face to face with people? Like
it is. Well, and I'm going to clarify, like in front of them with purpose.
Yeah.
Right. And that they want us there. And in the case of a client event, right, they want us there. They want us to support the event, of course, right? I'm not blind to the dollars and cents decisions, but also they want us there because they're using our services. And so at what level, right? I mean, are they using our OCIO stuff? Are they just using our strategies? Are they just, are they using our research? Whatever. Those are the things that we're there with purpose, as opposed to, again, the random knock on the door and try and sneak in a fact sheet in front of them in their office. That's not what we're there for.
Yeah, and that's kind of the exact point of the experience. What experience do you want to create for the clients at your client events? What experience do you personally want to have at a conference that you're attending? Is it, making it worth everybody's time? But the client event that I came back from just a few weeks ago, I think that was the main gist of it, is just how nice was it to be face to face with people, sharing a meal, having a drink, having a conversation. And which, by the way, I think by the time this episode comes out, we'll have published our blog post on client events. So I think we're going to link to that in the show notes. But, just our observations and tips, especially if you're going back into the event world after being on lockdown for so long. But it really was just all about making sure that your client and your event engagement is where you want it to be. And when you have papers, Jeff, to your point, when you have papers in front of you, it's not about the conversation. It becomes more about a presentation. And I think that's the theme for a lot of these events right now, is like, let's just focus on the engagement, the conversation. Any additional items can be sent via email, follow up. I had an advisor send me a request for 100 printed copies of something, and I responded with, we did away with printed materials a while ago. And he sent me back this emoji with the sunglasses saying, "You guys are so cool." And my response was, saving trees
Yes.
and managing risk. That's what we do around here. So, as you do engage in your own client events, just kind of think about some things that you want your clients to walk away with, or your prospective clients to walk away with. What are they going to know about you? The location is important, but it shouldn't be the reason why somebody comes to your event, or it shouldn't be the reason why you attend an event. It's what are you going to get out of it? What's that ROI on you, on the event for you? So that's kind of really our perspective on all of these events, is just making sure that it's engaging. And we've given you a few tips on how to do that. So
Yeah, that's I'm going to insert just a little bit. That's one
yeah.
of the things that I think was pretty cool about the event that you just went to. Of course, we always want to know, what is it that we can do for you, right? Beyond supporting the event. Are you needing us to do a presentation, or are you wanting us to just be there to be social? And let the people see that we are real people as well, right? That there's actually physical bodies beyond, just the name of some firm that you say that you chose a
Yep.
model from. And that's where it really works the best, right? When we can just be social, because again, you're at this stage of the game, everybody has got to remember, most firms haven't been able to do these kinds of things for a couple of years. So just getting together and being social is as much value as you can present right now. There is no performance number or tchotchke that's going to impress them beyond the fact that we're just trying to get back together. And the advisor's focus, in many cases, as we've seen, that seems to be successful, is just bringing everybody back out of their house,
Yeah.
and having a brew or whatever, right? So, yeah, to your
People
point,
do
let's not
business.
just be focused on the thing. Let's focus on the actual interaction.
Yeah, and people do business with people, right? It's
Yep.
this. I've always said this industry is,
People.
I
Well, let's
don't
not
know
get
what
me
that's a
started.
reference to, but we'll go with it. There's your another GIF.
There you go.
I had to
What
think
can I
through it.
do?
I had to think through it.
Yeah.
But people do business with people they know, like, and trust, and the only way for them to do that is to meet it. In fact, that advisor event I was just at for the clients, he actually said to him, that name that you see on your statement. Well, this is who it is. And it's like, yeah. So now you can just envision my face instead of the name, and now you know. It's like I'm just one of several, but if it helps, right?
Yep.
Facial recognition. So, well, that's all we've got for today's episode. Super simple, super hopefully helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is my first time hosting. So if I missed anything, guys, chime on in and let me know. But Jeff, why don't you take us out
You
with the choo
you
choo?
got well, you got the ringy bell dingy thingy. That's the most important thing. So on that note, choo 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 choo. How's that? Can't
The
wait for
end.
that one to be sliced and diced.
All right, see you guys.
Thanks.